We're the indie project Bee and Theo, and we've been living and travelling the world in vans for the past 6 years. We're currently renovating an abandoned stone barn in Portugal to turn into a beautiful tiny home for us and our cats Ginjey Bear and Furrnando. Follow our journey from the very beginning as we document the whole process of creating an off-grid home. Hello everyone and welcome back to another instalment of our Portuguese barn conversion series. It's an absolutely stunning day. This November has been probably the best November that we've ever experienced here. Yeah, we had a bit of rain at the beginning of the month, but it's been so warm and so sunny. It's really, really great.
So today is one of them days in between lime washing. It's almost become part of our lives now. We've done 3 coats of the entire building and we've just got one more coat to do. And we thought it would be cool to bring you guys along with us for a day where we're kind of ticking off a snag list. One of the tasks that I've been doing this morning is filling up our big 1,000-litre water tanks around the property. So we've got water now for the next month. I've just picked up one of these posts. I've got another one up at the chicken coop. I've got my saw, and what we're going to do is we're going to put some new perches in the chicken coop because they seem to have moved around and be sitting in different areas. So we want to give them as many options as possible to roost.
I'd like to say a big thank you to Extra, who have kindly sponsored today's video. If I talk to you about building your credit score, like most people, you're probably going to think about getting a credit card to build it, which can be quite stressful and daunting, as there's the risk of getting into credit debt and all sorts of things like that if you don't pay it off in time. But the problem is you need a good credit score to be able to, I don't know, buy a new car or if you're going to rent somewhere. But this is where Extra comes in because they've completely taken out the stress and worry needed when building credit. Extra helps you build credit like a credit card would, but you can do it without incurring debt. It connects with your bank so that every purchase you make earns credit and points at the same time. And the best part is there's no credit score required when signing up or interest fees. If you're susceptible to buying new tools like Theo is, you can be confident knowing that you're not going to have to pay it off immediately to avoid forgetting about it later on. If you want to sign up to Extra, just click the link in our description or our pinned comment and start building credit today or with a debit card. So we're putting some new perches in for the chickens because when we first built this coop, almost a year ago actually, we only had 4 of them and 2 of them were still pretty young, so they hadn't grown into their full size as Brahmas, which are some of the biggest chickens that you can get. And we also have 2 extra chickens now as well, so this space needs to be expanded for the extra ones. The one perch that we have on there is pretty big, but it's a bit crowded on there, and some of them also want to sleep a little bit higher up, especially since the fox attack. I guess they feel more comfortable being higher, so they've been sleeping on top of the nesting box as well. So we're going to put a post higher up and another longer post as well, so they've got a good selection and they should all have nice comfortable night sleeps.
Me and Sage are just hanging out in the chicken coop while I measure up their second perch that we're putting in for them today. I reckon that's probably, is that about the right height or do you want to go lower?
A bit lower.
Okay. So I'd say that's probably...
Maybe even, yeah, that should be enough.
Okay, 95 centimetres. So that's their second perch. I'll put their first perch in. So now they've got 2 perches. They've got their nesting box that they like to sit on, and then they're going to have another one up here.
Oh, could I ask you actually, whilst you're in here, can you remove the barrier that we put in when the chicks were babies, when the chicks were chicks?
The barrier, where's the...
That thing that's behind you?
Oh, this, yeah, I can take that out. That was to stop the chicks falling off the mezzanine. Our chickens have a mezzanine just like us. Seriously, this coop is very extravagant and we get lots of comments on it, but we had a lot of fun building it. And on our property here, we want to build fun stuff. We don't want stuff just to be functional. We want it to look nice and we want to have fun doing it as well. The fact that they've got a dormer window, when we walk past sometimes, we see them on their perch looking out of the window, and it's the most, it's just the best thing ever. It's the best thing I've ever seen. And they just look at you like, this is amazing. I am living the dream. So I just need to get this trimmed up and in place, and then we can move on to the next task. This creepy little chair that we got from the side of the road is working out as a good sawhorse, and eventually Bee's planning to refurbish this. Should look really nice. We think it's a kid's chair, but also there are some quite small people in Portugal, so you never know.
If anyone who's watching owns chickens, you'll know that they're super inquisitive, and the moment they heard Theo working in here, they came in. Sandy's just having some food and Say just decided she's going to lay an egg. Second time today she's been up in her nesting box, so whether she's actually going to lay an egg or not, or it's just part of the show. And then as I'm speaking, I've spotted Rizzo wants to come in and have a watch as well. Too many pockets, you can't find what you need.
So many pockets. It's useful until you actually fill them full of stuff.
What are you looking for? Because I've got 2 screws.
Drill bit.
Oh no.
Let me just check my 15 pockets.
Has it gone walkabout? Oh, your drill bit?
Drill bit.
Spotted one here.
Thank you.
So you didn't even put it in your pocket. Lower than that.
There?
Yeah, like there. You can be able to get out once you put it in.
Yeah, do the limbo.
Strong enough to do a pull-up on.
It is strong enough to do a pull-up on, there's just not enough room.
Us and the chickens are happy that the perches are in, and I'm looking forward to putting them to bed tonight to see who is perched where and finding out what they think of their new sleeping arrangements.
I'm just hanging out in my soon-to-be home. It sounds so funny to say that. We cannot wait to get in here. I've been spending as much time as I possibly can because it's boiling hot. I know I keep banging on, but I'm from the UK where we talk about the weather all the time. It's boiling hot outside. It's the perfect temperature inside. I can imagine just sitting here on a couch looking out at the greenery and the scenery and the blue skies, and I can't wait. And we were just talking about this place. This is the first home that we've ever owned that doesn't move. So it's quite bizarre that we can't just turn a key and drive this house down the road, but it's in a beautiful location. It's nice to actually be static for a little while. I think you can get burnt out really easily traveling, but anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I've got here some silicone that is brown, that I'm going to seal around the top of the door, inside and outside, because you saw me, I think it was on the last video, pointing around the door, and that sealed it all in, but there was a tiny little bit that I couldn't get to at the top because it was so narrow. So this is perfect, and where the silicone comes in, this is UV rated or UV resistant, so it's going to be good for inside and outside. So I've just finished the silicone on the inside. It was a lot more tricky than I thought it was going to be, because obviously in the past I've siliconed bathrooms and around sinks and shower trays and stuff like that, but I've never done it where one of the edges is a stone wall, and you can't attach any masking tape to the stone wall because it just doesn't stick. It will end up getting really messy. So what I decided to do is mask off the door frame, so I've got a nice clean edge on the door frame, and then I decided to go with the undulations of the stone and keep it nice and rustic and in keeping with the barn, and it actually looks really nice. It's come out a nice colour. So I need to do the outside now.
I cannot believe that tomorrow I'm doing the final coat of limewash. I'm standing in the barn now, the barn home, looking at the walls, and they just look amazing. This time last week, I think I was doing my first coat, wasn't I? And now here I am, got one more coat to go, and it's just totally transformed the place. And then the floors go down afterwards, and it really will feel totally complete then. And you might be able to notice over my shoulder, I did block the window up with stones because little Furrnando and Ginjey sometimes, they like to come in here when I'm painting, see what I'm doing, and then they've got a little routine where they jump out the window. The only problem is they've both had really muddy paws recently, and they were trying to jump up when the walls had just been painted, which I think everyone can agree is a massive no-no. So I had to block it up old style with a load of stones. But it's worked, and they've stopped jumping up and down with that window. And this is what we were trying to stop, but it's going to be covered by a kitchen anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
So a couple of days ago I posted on our YouTube community page, and I put a photo of how this barn originally looked before we did anything to the inside of it, and it literally blew a lot of your guys' minds, and also myself. I'd completely forgot what it looked like. So I'm going to go into our montage right now of some shots of actually the start of the process, because a lot of you guys are probably new here and you don't realise that this was literally full of straw. There was dirt everywhere. We had to jackhammer the whole floor up by like feet. Massive. Some of the boulders were literally 4 foot tall.
Mountains. Literal
mountains. And at first we were like, oh, we can leave these, it can be a feature. And then we realised that that's not going to happen. And we had a world of pain ahead of us of actually digging it out. But it just shows how far we've come. And it was actually crazy just looking back. Sometimes you need to just look at old photos and video clips to realise how far you've come in this journey. So this project right behind me is one that me and Bee both wanted to get started with as soon as we bought our land here in Portugal, and we've just never had the time. And due to the pandemic, now we have got time to tackle this rather big project. This is our stone barn, and as you can see, there's lots of stuff grown up around it. They had a lot of rain here in the winter and a really hot spurt at the beginning of the summer, so everything's grown up, as you can see. But this is the project that we are going to be tackling, and we are going to show every step of the process along the way, turning this into an old stone barn into our beautiful new home.
We've got broom, grass, bramble, all this stuff around the perimeter of the barn we need to get rid of so we can easily access it, because as you know, we are planning on turning this stone barn into a wonderful little house.
If this actually works, I'll be blown away, because it's like a 50-50 chance, I reckon. Actually, probably more like a 90-10.
No way, the Passat wins again. It's a little bit dark, but come and have a look inside.
Please excuse the mess inside the barn. We haven't had a chance to tidy up yet.
I've managed to find what we needed though. We need this stake. I think we're going to chop it in half, but we're going to be basically attaching an animal camera trap to it, because I know we've got some friends visiting at night.
It just looks so different. The space feels so big, and it makes the barn look even bigger, which is nice. And just can't wait to get started on the inside now.
There's a lot of rat evidence here, and judging by the size of the poos, I reckon they're about human size.
We picked up these masts the other day, and the reason being is there's lots of rat poo, as you know, in the barn, and all of the straw and dust, it's all just gonna flick up into the air, and you're gonna be breathing in them particles, which is never a good thing. So we want it to be safe, and we want it to be nice and safe for our lungs, basically.
Right, let's get the rake.
I'm so excited to see the floor. I've got to take my mask off. Oh, it sounds like stone. What's that?
We've already found treasure.
I need to put my mask back in.
What is it?
Like a...
Is it wood?
Yeah.
Ooh! That's nice!
So it's just started raining, guys, so this gives us a good chance to actually see if the roof is watertight.
Metal. You could hardly see in here. I need goggles as well as this mask, but this mask is doing an amazing job. My lungs feel perfect, which is good. And we've managed to clear 1/2
It's a dirt floor, guys!
of the barn. It is a dirt floor with tons of granite stones sticking out like that one.
Look at the dust.
How crazy is this? A rat has made a hole in this breeze block, and there's a whole nest in there. It feels so much bigger in here, and I couldn't resist. I found like a big metal piece that I assume is for breaking up things, so I'm trying it out.
It's like a huge spike, isn't it?
Yeah, a huge metal spike. And I've just been going. There's basically some folds in the rock, so I'm trying to pinpoint the weakest part and get the, it's not a chisel, but get the piece of metal in there and then just try and break it, and it seems to be moving. Look at that.
Oh! We have sunlight. Something I wanted to do this year, because we are getting close to Christmas, was decorate the coop and make it look like a little festive cabin basically. And I got some UV, what am I on about, solar powered fairy lights yesterday, so I'm gonna try and hang them up over the front arch of the coop and make it look like a little winter grotto, which I'm very excited about. They'll probably end up staying on there forever, but for now I know that every time I spot them as the sun is setting and they come on, it'll get me very, very excited for Christmas. Because I don't know about you, I know a lot of people don't like Christmas, but I really do love the Christmas season. It was a smidge tricky getting it right on the top because I could just about reach to there, so I had to really jump to get it up there. But I've positioned it so the little solar panel is there. So at sunset, when I come and check on the chickens on their new perches anyway, hopefully all of these fairy lights should be on, creating a lovely winter vibe, and I can't wait. And I've got to say that whoever invented solar powered fairy lights is the best person on earth, because obviously living off grid, there's no way that we could power that. We could obviously use battery powered ones, but they dull down after only a couple of hours, and it feels like such a waste constantly replacing the batteries. So solar powered fairy lights are my absolute favourite. We have them in a few different places around the property. We've got them on the tree by the bath. Now we've got them on there, we've got them outside the caravan, and we're definitely going to be having a whole lot more, especially around the barn. Just on the hunt for Theo because he's finished the siliconing, and I think he's going to be in this new spot that he found. Are you? I thought you would be. You're obsessed with this place.
We've never shown you this area before on our videos. I call it no man's land because it's just full of broom. There's all sorts of big boulders that you can see here, which is pretty cool. And I'm sure we could do something with this in the future, but it's quite nice how wild it is at the moment. And there's this one stone that I think I mentioned in the last video where I just like to sit, and if I have time, just watch the sun go down. It's absolutely beautiful. Let me show you. I only found this stone not too long ago amongst all of the wildness in this area on our property, and it's just perfect because you just look over at the horizon and the sun is just lovely and warm. Even at this time of the day, we've got an hour left of sunlight, so we better crack on and do a few more things. But I think we've achieved a lot today. We've done all of the water that we needed to fill up. We've filled up 2,000 litres around the land. We've done the chicken perches. We have sealed with the silicone around the door, so the doors now completed. It's so nice when you fully complete a job and can move on to the next thing. And now I think we'll take you guys and show you how Bee's garden is getting on, because she's done an amazing job. I'm just walking down to the garden area and I've realised that I really should have been wearing a mask when I was doing that silicone, because I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit I don't know how to say, a bit wavy, a bit high maybe. It's definitely gone to my head.
So happy with how my garden's coming along. I'm sure you can see that the things that I planted that I couldn't tell what was what is now starting to distinguish itself. I'm still not 100% sure whether it's going to be a broccoli or a cauliflower or a cabbage until they actually start to produce the vegetable. But down here we've got my garlic and everything's just doing really well actually. Everything seems really happy. Haven't had anything that's not come through. Did have one incident where I spotted something had come up and had a nibble of one of the leaves and it had broken it off, but it obviously didn't like the taste of it because it left it alone after that and nothing else has been eaten. So it's all going really well and it's given me a lot of joy, and coming down every day and spotting new things with the seedlings, with the brassicas and the onions and the lettuce and stuff. It's really exciting, and I really cannot wait for the day when we can actually begin to harvest the food as well, because that is just going to be, I mean, that's the whole point of it, isn't it? To be able to eat the stuff that you grow. So that's going to be really, really, really exciting, and I need to fill this back up now. But honestly,
show us your seedlings.
My seedlings, yeah, I need to show you them.
Show us how they're doing.
So I've got quite a few different ones on the go. And they've been doing so much better actually since they've been in here. Peas are just shooting up, they really want to get planted now. The lardosa beans, the kale. I did actually plant a load of new onion seeds a little bit later than all of these, so they're a little bit far behind, but I've got a whole tray of them down here and then some other bits and bobs, but they're all getting ready to be transplanted or separated from each other because they're getting so big now, which is just really exciting, because I said before I've never grown anything from seed, so seeing these actually thrive is really, really exciting.
I'm just doing a little perimeter walk around our property. How nice is this? The field is looking lovely, the grass is going really nice shade of green. And this is going to be a lovely lawn for when the goats arrive. Hopefully not too long in the distant future we can get the goats, but I just haven't had the time to build them their pen. But guys, look at this. Isn't this just stunning? It's just magical, it never gets old. And you can see the red of the tiled roof of our soon-to-be home that we're moving into. Ah, beautiful. And talking about goats, I did really want to get these fence posts in today. Obviously not all of them, but just the gate posts, so that I could install the gate, because that's a first step in getting the goats, because we need to be fully ready. But the house is just sucking up all my time, and if we're going to be in by Christmas, I need to prioritize certain jobs, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So if I find an hour or so on another day, I will make sure I get these in.
The chickens are still out. I've let them have a little run around outside with us earlier, and then they go on their inside enclosure so they're safe, but they still need to be locked away for bed. So it's kind of mad saying it's bedtime now because it's what, like 4:30, and it's already getting dark.
It really is, yeah.
What time is it?
20 to 5.
20 to 5, and it's already sunset time, so I need to put the chickens to bed. And then I guess we're just gonna have to wait just till the sunset and the lights will come on as well. You know the way to bed, everyone else is in bed. You're the youngest. Good chickers. Come on. Are you a chinchilla? He makes a little noise every time. Why is he so cute? You love the sand. Look at you, you're covered in it. It's just gone 5, which means the sun is going to be setting very soon, and the light is absolutely stunning. But it's been a lot of fun bringing you along with us for today's video. It's one of our down days in between painting and filming the really big massive changes that are happening in the barn very regularly at the moment, and it's been quite a nice day actually. We got things done that we needed to get done, had a rest from painting because it really is just the most tedious job ever, and I'm so excited to Fernando's trying to climb my leg. I'm so excited to finish it, but thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please make sure you've subscribed to our channel and click that thumbs up button. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.